This podcast was produced on the land of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation.
Welcome to Australia.
Aussie.
This is kind of tragic.
Someone who is such a connoisseur of reality television.
The content is hideous.
So sorry about this. Oh my God.
Welcome back to The Cringe is Real, a reality TV recap podcast that probes the notion of the Australian culture cringe. I'm Sam Cremian and I think shaved chests should be outlawed. Joining me this week to discuss Australian Survivor Titans vs Rebels is my good friend Rula Paterson. Rula is a social justice warrior and art enthusiast working in the tertiary sector who, like me, loves to escape in some reality TV at the end of a long day. Australian Survivor Titans vs Rebels airs on 10 and 10 Play every Sunday to Tuesday, and I'll be recapping it each week with a special guest. Rula Paterson, welcome to The Cringe is Real.
Thank you for having me.
It's so good to see you in the flesh.
Great to see you as well.
What's got you cringing this week?
So I think this is going to be a pretty obvious one, but what has got me cringing is Kate Middleton true crime drama.
It's gone too far.
Too
the
far.
Conspiracy theories, everyone's got so excited with their imagination. I can guarantee you what it will actually be is something really boring.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
I don't know. Like have you heard the bangs theory? She got bangs and they're ugly and she's waiting for them to grow out.
No, I heard the theory that she's her and William have split.
Yeah, it's
And-
probably just that.
It is like actually probably absolutely nothing. She
Yeah.
probably just like wanted a rest.
Yeah.
And then everyone has blown it up into this giant crime that needs to be investigated when it doesn't. No, thank you.
Yeah. And just true crime like vibe in general.
Oof.
It's kind of like, yeah, I think the bubble's bursting on that one. Like everything is true crime now.
Absolutely everything is true crime. I listened to this podcast. It's a New York Times podcast called The Daily.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And they did an episode that was basically titled, I asked a Facebook group to investigate my sister's murder and then they turned on me. And
they thought that it was her
they
responsible.
started investigating her to the point where they like were pulling up like all of like her divorce proceedings. They turned one of her stepkids against her and her stepkid became involved in this group and then is now accusing her of murdering her own sister. This is the level of true crime that we're dealing with in this world. It's forever a cringe, but particularly like true crime around Kate Middleton, too much. It should not be on the news. We should not be thinking about it. We should not be talking about it.
Because like it all just feeds the beast, doesn't it? Like
It
people are just
absolutely
getting
feeds the
so
beast.
friggin' excited. And I'm like, they are actually the most boring people. I'm sorry.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. Because I'm watching Celebrity Big Brother UK, of course, because it's my favourite show ever at the moment. And even that is like, they blew the budget on like her uncle and he was boring.
Yeah.
And then he got booted out. And now it's even more boring.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And I mean, ultimately, the royal family is wrong.
Exactly.
This is not
It will
something.
always be wrong.
It will always be wrong, and this is not something we should be supporting or interested
Yeah.
in.
I'm with you. I feel like there's been a little bit of true crime investigation on the Australian Survivor Reddit this week
Ooh,
for
tell me
something that I'll get to later.
Ooh.
It's exciting. But the other thing is Kelly actually a psychologist? That's still ongoing investigation. There's people that are like searching records.
What is your belief?
I think she's a psychologist. I think she's just also quite kooky. I think
I-
both things can be true.
I think both things can exist in this world. Have you looked at her Instagram?
No, I can't say I have. I've heard she's tweeting a lot at King George,
Yeah.
which I'm like, oh, girl.
Her Instagram is like obviously beautiful and it has her range of merchandise.
Oh, yes, I've heard about this, but all the catchphrases are things that like she didn't even say.
She didn't say,
Yeah.
or just like anybody could have said that. Like, I think one of them is, "Are you single?"
Yeah, which it should just be, I'm a psychologist.
Yes.
Surprise.
Surprise! I'm a psychologist.
And like someone like, oh.
or I work in mental health.
So good. Australian Survivor Titans v Rebels. How are you feeling so far?
I love this season. It is incredible.
It's instant canon.
It is instant canon. It's just this feeling that anybody could do anything at any time. It is so good. People are always like reassembling their alliances. there's no loyalty, there's no mateship, which makes it incredible.
We haven't had the M word once.
Oh, the absence
all
of
season.
mateship. It's such a gift.
Do you think that reflects us growing as a people?
Yes, I think it does.
Yeah.
I think it truly, like, the absence of mateship is a change in the Australian character for the good. Premium Channel 10 casting.
Incredible.
The way that they have managed to interweave new players, Survivor fans.
Finally, we're getting some fans. Some of them are being outed as fans and some of them not so much.
Yeah.
Like I hear apparently Caroline's a big fan.
No, which is perfect. I mean, the only person I would say kind of we got shades of maybe too much of a super fan was Eden.
Eden, yeah.
He was a bit of a cockroach.
And JLP would even be like, so Eden, as a super fan,
yes,
what would your opinion on this be? And
Yeah.
he would just be like, JLP, no.
Yes. It's not popular in the Australian Survivorverse, and that's good.
Yeah.
I really love how, like, the popular kids have been kicked out and we're really left with the freaks.
Oh, so good.
It's so good. And I say freaks in not a derogatory way, in a way that I love freaks. Like,
there was a really good moment. Are you watching all the jury villas?
No.
I haven't watched all of them, but last week I did. And in Jaden's jury villa, there was a bit where he really outed himself as the opposite of a fan. Because he was like on the phone to like his mum or something in the car. And they're like, oh, how was it? And he's like, Mum, it was great. There was this thing called Tribal Council that we went to.
No.
And we had to vote each other.
No.
Like, he literally says that. Like, he's playing on the phone. And the mum's like, that's interesting.
I heard that he was the first to leave the group chat.
Oh, yes. I've heard this as well.
And that to me makes complete sense. That he was like, I'm out. Like,
Fuck yeah. He's
not
like,
for me, thank you.
It was fun. But, yeah.
And also I think Kirby and Feras, incredible TV.
So good.
Like, their chemistry, it is just like a match made in heaven.
Do you reckon they're going to be the final two?
I
will
hope
die
so.
if they are.
I hope so. But even in terms of the final two, I was thinking about, like, we're moving towards final four.
Yeah.
I just think anybody deserves to be in final four at this stage. Like, I was thinking
maybe not Raymond. I don't know.
Maybe not Raymond, but even still, like, thinking about last year, Matt and Jerry in the final four.
That's right.
I was like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
But even Raymond, like,
Raymond did have his huge popcorn move from last week. So
and I love his little whispering personality.
yeah, I do like that. And the puns.
The puns that he's like thing is just always kind of whispering to Feras, like, don't do that. No. And so I'm like, he does have some influence in the game.
Yeah.
In the way that I felt maybe Matt really didn't last year.
Yeah, no, I've like erased that whole situation from my memory.
Yeah. I had to look out and I was like, yeah, we've really flushed the floaters.
Oh my God.
as you might.
Kirby is just, she's so good. Shall we hop straight into this week's Survivor?
Let's do it.
So the gay intern's still on vacation. No episode titles anywhere to be seen. Thank you, Channel 10. So we'll continue to make them up. So episode 19 starts with everyone just absolutely gagged and gooped from the popcorn surprise. Make it camp. Poor Valeria. But also, what a like iconic way to go.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah, it was fitting.
It was quite incredible to be voted out by a single person.
Yeah.
It was.
I wouldn't want it any other way.
No, it was great.
Feras sort of acts like he didn't know what was going on for now anyway.
Yeah.
Which I was like, that's probably a good way to do it. I wouldn't want to, you wouldn't want to rub anyone's nose in that.
Yes.
Like, haha.
Yeah.
Raymond and I were pretending this whole week that he was like having a mental health day, but actually he had an advantage.
I think it's the right move. I was very interested to see the way that this would all turn out because I think that like Raymond really had to do a series of manipulations that could be kind of cruel. Yeah. Like, essentially people were showing a lot of care towards him.
Totally.
And for him to just like turn around and just be like,
But it shows how good like the gameplay is this season. That everyone literally was just like, "Great move, Raymond. Let's move on." Like no one really like got that upset. I thought maybe Caroline was going to get upset about it.
I thought
but she
that
didn't.
as well. No, they were like, well played.
Yeah, they're like, game recognized game.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the theme of this week, actually. I feel like the theme of this week is if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best.
Yes.
That was like the line to sum up this whole week. Got to beat the best.
And also, who is the best is fairly open to interpretation. You can also claim that you're the best, and everyone's like, you're absolutely not.
Yeah, exactly. That's going to be the episode title for this one, I think. Alex tells us that he's tight with Mark. And wait for it, spew incoming, a lads alliance is floated. And I was like, absolutely not. No, not in 2024.
I loved it how they were like, all right, boys alliance, lads alliance, let's go.
Lads.
Pretty interesting that the gendered alliances are coming up this late in the game. And also amongst, I would describe as quite an unlikely group of lads.
Yes. Well, you know, Alex is ready for a lads alliance. He's got a little stiffy for a lads alliance. He has from the start.
His was like, this body was not built for any other kind of alliance.
Yeah. Kirby's reflecting on her experience so far. She's really enjoying it and she's not ready for it to end. And I was like, yes, I'm not ready for it to end for you either.
Kirby under that rainbow in Samoa, I was like,
gorgeous,
beautiful,
great cinematography there. Alex is asking Kirby what her highlight is, and like he's kind of trolling her, like he's being a dick. He's kind of like, so tell me, Kirby, what have you done in this game? What would you say your best move is? And she's like, well, you know, I've done this and I've done that. And then he just keeps going and keeps digging. He did this a lot with Kelly. Yes. And I think because we were also like on his side with that we didn't realize that he's actually like, he can be a bit of a dick.
He's quite obnoxious. And this really exposed it because, I agree. When it was the force of Kelly and Alex against each other, you were just like, all right. But now you see him interact and it's like, he's not good at conversation.
No, and look, it's good telly, and he's putting it on. You can tell he's having a bit of fun, which is camp. So I love you for that, Alex. Yes. But like, if I was there, I would have just slapped him in the face.
Yes, which Kirby kind of does, and calls him a floater.
Yes, so they can agree at this point that they're not mates,
not compatible.
And they go through their actions from the game, and they're like, this is why we're not mates. And then even that, they disagree on like the details around that, and I'm just like, oh my god, it's like a petulant child being like, no. And then she says my favourite line of this episode. She's like, look, you're just saying words now. Which is a great comeback.
Which is great and very true as well. And becomes like more and more true like as this episode goes on.
Yes. Oh, just you wait. Reward challenge. JLP asks, what reward do you reckon you'd like? And Kitty's like, do you know what, JLP? I'd love a spa day, just me and the girls. Champers, chocolate-covered strawberries.
I love how Spa Day has taken on this like mythical thing.
Yeah.
In Australian Survivor, it's like
it's the one I would want the most.
Absolutely.
Like easily.
Alliances are made, broken.
Totally.
Spa Day is so important.
It's almost like a Bachelor or a Love Island prize because you get like sexy time, like to build alliances, but it's very like
it's very intimate. The bathrobes, and I can't remember whether in this episode you see, but sometimes they share like a really quite romantic bed situation.
Yeah, normally they try and pitch that at some point. Which look, Alex tries later to make it a bit sexy, but it doesn't really quite work. So Kitty called it. It was the spa day. that's the prize. Alex is doing so well in this challenge. It's like filling up buckets of water into like the tube, which this was a little bit. This was like the set department had a little like day off or something. Yeah,
it was not great. It involved a lot of running, which seems to be...
No one wants to watch that.
No, it seems to be what Alex is into. I mean, even at the start, he looks at it and he's like, to JLP, my kind of challenge.
Yeah, he's like, Yeah, don't get cocky, but he definitely does. Yeah, I feel like this is normally like one element of a larger challenge.
Yes.
But in this episode, it was the whole challenge. And I was
Yeah.
like, no. Like, do that first and then like a key to a puzzle or some shit.
You're
But
right. There might be like some swimming involved, take the
Yeah.
bucket back, but it's literally just
Yeah.
the running back and forth with the bucket.
I know. But the edit on this episode, like we've only got 2 minutes left because the rest of the episode is Alex shaving his chest. So,
And my other reflection on this as well is that Kitty is insanely fit.
she is so fit.
I
It's
was like,
wild.
Wow.
Yeah. That bod is insane.
Yes.
Yeah. She's stunning. So Alex gets really cocky even during the challenge and he
Yes.
knows he's going to win. So then he just like slows down, which is like the ultimate like douchebag thing to do. But I kind of loved it.
Yes.
And then he's like, hey, Mark, what do you reckon? Like, because, I'm about to win. So like, who should I take?
And they just do some strat chat in the middle of the challenge.
Mid-chal.
I was like, wild.
I know. And this Mark lost some points for me here too because he's like, obviously Mark wants to go on the reward, but, Alex convinces him that they should divide and conquer.
Yes.
And he's like, I'll sweet talk the ladies then, won't I? Because that's my charm.
Yes.
So it's split up and I'll hold the fort, says Mark. He wins. And of course he takes Caroline, Kirby and Ree.
Mm-hmm.
Was this a good move?
Feras doesn't think so. He basically says Alex is dumb.
Yeah. On the spa day, Alex, this is just a lot of, interesting strategy here. He's like, I'm going to try and strat chat with these ladies whilst shaving my chest aggressively and just eyeballing them down. And it's like, know your audience. Like, Kirby certainly is not interested. Look, I don't think the others are particularly keen either.
This was incredible TV. To see him scrape that blunt dry razor across his chest,
Was there anything there at the start anyway?
it was quite confusing. But it seems to be really something because he references later when JLP asks, like, how was the spa? And he was like, it was great. I got to shave my chest. It just seems...
Yeah, and everyone's like, oh, yeah, that's the best thing ever. Not the wine. Oh, these wine confessionals. Like, thank you, Channel 10. This was amazing. Like,
Yes.
him in a robe, holding a glass of red wine, just looking totally, like, sozzled.
It was so
stunning. He's
It
like,
was so good. And talking about his plans to get everyone drunk. Meanwhile, he gets lasagna drunk.
He does. He gets lasagna drunk. He's red wined up. Kirby's so smart. I love this because like he's right there and like I don't know. He like walks away for 2 seconds and she's like, "So we're not falling for this, right?" And they're all like, and she's like, "Cool, but what we've got to do is just like let him think that we are, and like let him think that he's playing a good game." And they're all just like, "Yep."
It is such a good move from Kirby, but I think particularly when you see a grown man overeat lasagna to the point that he has to like lie down, and Caroline comments he went back for more when he shouldn't have. He's not really someone that you want to like continue your game with.
No,
I don't think he was particularly inspiring at that spa
I
day.
know. So this brings me to my aforementioned internet sleuthing. So like the gay dark web has exploded this week because Alex's OnlyFans has been discovered. Incredible. But we're all just like, hang on, isn't he supposed to be a maths teacher? Like what
Yes.
school would like allow this? But turns out he hasn't actually been a maths teacher for a while. This is just what I'm hearing from the gay dark web. And this must have been his business plan the whole time. Was just like, I'll wear the pink Speedos and like get the gays to just like subscribe see like pics of my butt.
It's really smart. And he cements my idea too that like the professions that Channel 10 tell you
Yes.
people are are possibly not right. Like how Valeria is a supermodel.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
it's like
not
that. Do you have to
quite.
earn that title? Like Janice Dickinson would be furious about that word just being thrown around.
I was like, I don't think that's quite. And I was quite suspicious of Mark being a diplomat, but I think that that's a little bit closer to the truth.
Yeah.
But Alex,
and
like,
at least Mark always prefaces it with ex-diplomat, or like when I was in Bangkok, because obviously he couldn't be doing that job and then like be on a reality show. But yeah, but like power to you, Alex, get those coins. I just wish we lived in a world where you could just say that. Do you know what I mean? There's still so much like BS wrapped around all this. It's like, yeah.
I agree. I think the fact that it's like salacious really speaks to our society, and that he had to pretend to be a maths teacher when like possibly he hasn't taught since like 2012.
No, I feel like he's just like a crypto bro with some OnlyFans side hustles.
I also
it's all alleged.
I also respect the segue from Survivor to OnlyFans model more than Survivor to like your own range of terrible merchandise.
Yeah,
I think.
I mean, the only merchandise I want to see on Alex is what's under the big speedos.
I fully support that.
Better than like was it Simon Me with the hats?
Yes.
It's like snuff bro or something.
Yes. And Mark also has his own range of merchandise.
Mark's got merch.
Yeah, it's that frill neck lizard hat that he wears all the time. He's like started selling that.
You can't do hats as well. That's taken.
I agree.
Yeah, fresh. But it is, because I was shocked because that's what I would expect from like a maths contestant. Is like they all end up on OnlyFans straight away after the show. But from Alex, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I was blindsided.
You were blindsided. I am blindsided as well, but I agree. Like, get your coin.
Get your coins. Back at camp, Mark was a bit confused that Alex took Kirby. It's like, was that the plan? It's like, I thought we were going to...
I thought boys alliance, lads alliance.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit of lasagna.
Yeah, really looking forward to that lasagna.
Yeah.
Notable spa food lasagna.
It's always at lasagna in the spa. Mark wants to solidify Feras with the boys. The boys! And they target Ree first. So,
Makes sense. I mean, she's a challenge beast, but let's, see what happens there.
See what happens there. Yeah, look, I have been waiting for them to take out poor Ree for a while.
Yeah.
Because, the challenge beast thing...
Close to Kirby.
Plus, like, she's kind of blown up some people's games in the past. She, like, never votes right.
She's not on the right side of the vote. Ever, really.
Yeah. The only downside to this, though, is that Feras is kind of reconciling that if he does go along with this, he'll eventually have to vote out Kirby as well, which, could be challenging, but might have to happen at some stage. Back at the spa, Alex is still just being a douchebag. Thinks the girls are on side. He's like, yep, they're totally doing it. And then he walks away and Kirby's like, he's so annoying. Let's vote him next.
And she says, thanks for the spa, but I love Kirby.
So good. Immunity challenge is tiny feet pegs. This one,
torture.
horrible.
I hate this
The
one.
torture chamber one's kind of,
Yeah, the ones that are a little bit like saw-like. They're not.
Remember, there is that one where it's actually like saw, and and JLP cranks the handles like. That's probably coming.
That is definitely coming.
Okay, I love that one. And they even make the sound effect like. Alex does some cool moves here. He like almost falls over and then like brings it back up. I was impressed by the core strength.
The horizontal and then back
to
up.
the vertical. Wow. Ree wins immunity though, because of course she's the challenge boost.
And she does mention that she thinks the lasagna helped her, whereas Alex says that he regrets the lasagna. So I love this continued reflections on the lasagna.
She also goes, look, I'm already known as a physical threat, so I might as well win, which I'm like, okay, bit late now. So yeah, fair. Little did she know that the Blokes Alliance were coming for her, so she's pretty much just saved her ass. And now it looks like Kirby's the one on the chopping block, and I was just like looking at the TV being like, no.
Me too. I was like, this can't happen.
Not yet. Back at camp, Alex finally gets it and the penny drops. So like credit here, he does figure it out. And he's like, don't think I did the right thing taking Rhea and Kirby on
Made a mistake with the girls.
group date. So he's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I just pissed them all off and they're gunning for me now. The Lads Alliance seems to be on. There's like some tricky editing here because I was like, will they, won't they lads it up?
I agree, especially because Feras seems quite into the Boys Alliance. So at this point I was really thinking, is this a possibility? He was talking about selling Kirby to Caroline as a vote. And really bringing in our first smatterings of resume talk.
This is the it's totally resume week. It's beat the best to be the best, and it's resume week.
You want this on your resume, and that is his pitch to Caroline. Someone
posted a really funny tweet. I think it was last night, where it was like, are you a resume or a resume girly? Which one are you?
I'm a resume.
Resume, not a resume.
Resume. What about you?
I think I'm resume. But, I don't know. I feel like I could accidentally say resume sometimes, which feels a bit Kath and Kim, but I'm kind of here for it. The ladies are going Alex after seeing him shave his nipples aggressively. That's enough. That's
correct.
That's all you need, basically. And Kirby says she reckons she's got Ray and Feras on board too. Going into Tribal, I was still unsure of how it's going to land. So
me too.
Good work editing. At Tribal, Alex tells the girls he knows there's no trust. Mm-hmm. He kind of really turns it on at Tribal, doesn't he?
I was so confused by this. I really just did not know whether Alex knew he was going and was trying to burn it all down, or he was trying to solidify Feras with some real pressure and really putting it out there that you need to make a big move on Kirby or these are the consequences. So, and Caroline as well. And I think I really landed on the fact that I think he was really trying to use that Tribal as a pressure point to solidify the Boys Alliance plus Caroline.
Yeah, he puts heat on Kirby and he kind of he blabs to everyone about her plan. This is a good tactic, I guess.
Yes.
But with these players, I think you got to read the room a bit. He's kind of just pissed them off a bit because they want to play with other people that are going to be strategic and do some fun stuff. But when you get there and you're just and intimidate with, I know who you're voting for and this is your plan and I'm going to tell everyone. I think it rubs the Ferrises and Kirbys of the world the wrong way.
It was completely the wrong move.
Yeah.
His language was bonkers. When he called Feras delusional, he said to everyone that he wouldn't vote for them unless they made a big move.
Yeah.
And he really goes in on Caroline. You can really see it was the opposite of what particularly Feras and Kirby are good at appealing to Caroline's ego.
Yeah.
Whereas this, all of these Molotov cocktails that he was throwing out.
Do you think the vote changed? Was it a live Tribal? Do you think it changed at the Tribal, or was he a goner anyway? And was he just going down in flames?
It's hard to tell because Feras is quite a good actor.
Yes.
So
because he's in HR,
and
in HR people are notoriously sneaky.
I do believe that Feras went into the Tribal with some part of him thinking that he might.
Yeah.
He might.
And
go
then when
with
you
Alex.
see a performance like that, you're just like, all right, thanks for making our decision easier.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that if there was any possibility, Alex completely destroyed it.
My notes just say Alex insults everyone. And then Kirby's line, Kirby had the best line. She's like, well, you look more desperate than I do. And I was like, oh, fucking yes. Burn.
I want to write that line down and use it for the rest of my life.
You look more desperate. Just sign off every email with that from now on.
It's so good, and it just really shut it down. I also have in my notes, Caroline seems catatonic. Yeah. She was really not into what was going on.
No. So it's a 6-2 Alex Kirby, and bye Alex.
Bye Alex.
Good knowing ya. So who's the other Kirby vote then? It must have been Mark.
Yeah, that's right.
Which I'm like, Mark, I was rooting for you. Don't Don't with the lads stuff.
No.
Come on. Nah.
This bogus boys alliance is better than that.
Exactly. Episode 20 starts on the Tassie beach on day 40, which is like, fuck, that is a long time they've been out there.
I know, and you can really see it.
Yeah. They're
look-
all skinny.
They're all skinny.
Yeah. Caroline tells Kirby she wants Mark gone.
Mm-hmm.
Which, these two have a real... It's like a feud, but it's not as glamorous and sexy as the Feras Kirby feud. So, like, that's why it's not in all the ads. But it's still there and it's still quite entertaining.
It
the back
is.
and forth of it all.
I agree. I still get reminded of how much their back and forth was an earlier part of the episode when Caroline describes Mark as her arch nemesis. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because they've been kind of gunning, because they were going to work together at the start, then they fucked each other over. Now they're gunning for each other, but then they work together again sometimes. Yeah, it's a whole story.
It's complex.
Yeah, and Caroline cries every now and then and treats him like he's a sex offender. It's like, I can't sleep in the same bed as him. Get him away from me. Kirby strikes up a proposal for her two and Caro's two to make the final four. So Caroline's two is obviously her and Kitty.
Mm-hmm.
Was she referring to her and Ree here or her and Feras here? I didn't quite figure that out. She's like, I've got me and my two, and then you and your two. Or was it them and two others?
I think it's her and Ree. I think it's like the two and two together.
Yeah, it's got to be. Because Ree's the one that's easily, manipulated.
Yeah.
Whereas Feras ain't doing stuff. And then, they kind of haven't established that yet, have they?
No.
This week. So Feras and Kirby strat. They think Mark is good for a next vote, but then they're like, then what? So they're kind of already saying like, Mark's an easy one next, but then it's like, who do we do after that? Kirby says, if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best.
Oof, I love this. She really appeals to Ferris's ego. Feras is so flattered by this, and she's painting this picture and Feras can see it.
Yeah.
He's like, me and Curbs at the end.
Yeah.
He tells her, you're the best, everyone is below you. It's really
He's
something.
coming for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it's something that he's into. Until.
Yeah. Ray, however, reminds Feras that no one is beating Kirby at the end.
Yeah.
And that's probably now is a better time than ever to take her out. And so here I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, it's Ray's little whispers. And then he tells Feras he loves them. And they end their strat chat at the well, which I was like, beautiful.
Did that happen?
Yeah.
It's not, I thought you were going fan fiction on me.
No fan fiction.
Love you.
He's like, love you. I was like, they have such a nice little bond.
Totally, that's how whisper that was. I missed it. That is so cute.
Yeah.
Love that. Love you, Feras. Mark swims through everyone's legs.
Yeah.
Interesting choice. And Feras suspects a female empowerment alliance in quotation marks.
Because Kirby's into that.
She's like, I get this vibe from Kirby that she loves a bit of female empowerment, if you know what I mean.
He knows her better than anyone else on this tribe, and he knows that she's into women's things
business,
and female empowerment.
She's all about it. Can't get enough. He's like, she doesn't even know that I know that yet, but I know that she is back there with the ladies, and they're talking about taking me out. So there's moving parts. There's Caro, Kirby, and Feras they're all playing hard, and they're all thinking about final tribal.
So they should.
Yeah.
It makes it so interesting that they're trying to play 5 days ahead as well as playing the day that they're on.
Yeah, it's great to see. Kirby is finally, after 40 days, experiencing paranoia. And she's right to feel so because her name is out there.
Yeah.
So she's got a good spidey sense.
And as Caroline says to her, paranoia can be a bitch.
Put that on a t-shirt. Yeah.
I would wear that t-shirt.
Kirby is very good at lie detecting, so she smells Caroline's BS straight away.
Yes.
Because Caroline's like, nah, babe, no.
You have nothing to worry about.
You have nothing to worry about. girlfriend.
She's like, she just has this way of lying. And
Yeah.
then they cut to her lying and it's like, yes, she is
You
lying.
can't, like, Kirby's eyes are like piercing. They're really like, you look into them and you would just immediately cough up the truth.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be like, I can't help it. And then I love this. It's 3 a.m.
Oof.
and Kirby can't sleep because, you know, we've all had that happen at 3 a.m. We just wake up and we're like, I just love this game so much. I've got to do some strat chat. So, you know, she wakes up Feras and they go and have a little chat. And this is really the like 3 a.m. like bond that they create. And she even says, look, I've thought about it long and hard and I will give you Ray on a silver platter.
Yeah.
If you and me, babe, against the world.
Yeah.
Smart.
It's
move.
smart. Yeah, Kirby is so able to see all of these different moves that are available to her and kind of pick out one that will be quite appealing. And you can see that Feras is into this as well.
Yeah, she knows what to appeal with in Feras, and it's that, Titans at the end, as in not, you get it.
And also she appeals to Feras in the way that she, like, is saying to him, like, I recognise your power. That I recognise that I'm giving you this.
It's a little bit blowing smoke up, isn't it? Because it's like,
yes,
like, I want to be with the best and you're the best.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great.
It's great.
Immunity challenge is, this was so mean. It was the dominoes, but with that weight, there's a huge weight on your shoulder that you have to, like, hold up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was...
It was intense. And also it was one of those challenges where it really just did not seem like there were enough blocks. It was really hard to get it right.
Really hard.
And we saw players really struggle with that spacing.
I was screaming. This was actually a good one, like, for the tension. I was actually screaming.
Oh,
like,
me too.
What the fuck? And fuck Kirby, she, like, almost had it. And then it's like, Kitty almost has it. And then you're like, oh my God, who's going to get it? And it's kind of like anyone's at this point. And then finally, Kirby does it. And it's emotional.
Triumphant. It's incredible. She walks off.
That I thought was beautiful. Mind you, the edit was a bit weird here because, like, she goes off and has a moment. And I was like, this is really nice. And then just, like, cuts to commercial break. And then we come back and it's that moment's over. I'm like, I thought we were going to get a little wrap up of that moment.
Me too. It was just, she has her moment. Channel 10 builds us up with these emotional strings. Cut to ad break.
Cut to fucking, what's Bindi Owen's brother? Robert Irwin.
Oh my God.
Fucking,
yes.
And, oh God. Yeah. Anyway, back at camp, Kirby's stoked that she's got immunity, but she knows that it's temporary, so she doesn't want to get too cocky.
Yeah. And I think she also knows what this means for Ree.
Yeah, but I was a bit like, ooh, watch it, because she kind of backpedals on throwing Ree under the bus here for a minute. Yeah. She's a bit like, not sure how I feel about that. I think she's trying to, like, have her cake and eat it at this point. She's
Absolutely.
like, I'm going to try and figure out a way. She's like, surely there's a path where I can have everything.
Yes.
My Ree and my Feras. And it's like, sorry, honey, one has to go.
Yeah.
Make your choice.
You really need to. We're getting to that point in the game.
Exactly. So it's Ree or Mark. This was so funny. Kitty to Ree, she's like, oh no, I'm voting for you. I mean with you.
Oh my God. And the look on Kitty's face.
It's like, oh no, which one was it? I mean, they're voting for you or with you, but I can't remember which one. Dead. But Ree is still kind of playing with the Karens, and that stresses me out.
Yeah. Even though she knows that Caroline is lying to her, because Caroline does her weird little lying voice, and it's confirmed by the ominous violin that they play over the top that this is not going to go Ree's way.
Caroline's got two voices. She's got mum voice and weird little lie voice.
Those are her voices, and both are pretty terrifying.
I gotta say, like, Kitty is warming to me, and particularly in this episode, I was like, oh, like she was kind of having a bit of fun.
Yes.
And I'm sure she has been this whole time. We just haven't been seeing it because we've been seeing her as like 2IC to Caroline, and Caroline is terrifying. So I'm like, great. It's nice to see you as an individual.
I agree. I think it's like the hard position to be the number 2. You always like, especially if your number 1 is a bigger personality. I mean, we see this with Ray and Feras as well. Sometimes we just see these like really kooky moments from Ray, and it's like, is this him? Is this him the entire time? And Survivor are not showing that to us.
Yeah. At Tribal, JLP reminds everyone that last night Alex outed Kirby as being the biggest threat. And Kirby's like, thanks, mate. Ree knows the target is on her back. Now that Kirby has immunity, it just makes sense. And then the chat turns to resume building mode.
Yeah, yep.
We're all like, we're all counting our moves.
Yeah, we're all like getting out the Canva, like laying out our resume, making sure our work experience is up to date.
Kirby is in the 11th hour, like, we're voting Mark to Feras. And I was like, what? I'm like, after waking up at 3 a.m. and all the, like, to do this, I was a bit like, what are you doing? But I mean, it didn't work in the end, and we say goodbye to Ree.
Even though the spelling is off on a couple of the votes, there's Ree notes. She's gone.
She gone.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. 5-2. So there was a couple of marks. Yeah. Oh, look, I'm kind of glad, like, Ree wasn't contributing a huge deal to the show, and I think they made the right choice. Challenge threat-wise and for my viewing pleasure-wise. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I wasn't particularly upset about this one. I'm sad for Kirby because I think it was really good for her to have an offsider.
Yeah, true.
But
you just can't have... And then when you've got one that's so obvious like that, you kind of make yourself a threat too. So I think it's the perfect time to cut her loose because it's like now... she's showing a bit of vulnerability, which Kirby has not really done this game.
I didn't think of it like that, but that's actually really smart. Now is the perfect time to like go on your own as a single player and take that target off your back as being part of a power couple.
Yeah, especially there's 6 left at this point. So, episode 21, post-tribal. Kirby asks, who landed her on their resume?
Oh, Kirby is so blunt about this. I love it.
Who's claiming her? Which I'm a bit like, she had to be prepared for this, but yeah, she seems pissed.
Yeah, I'm all out. Like, I'm all in for the shaming. It's great.
And the Karens are like, oh no, it's just everyone. It was everyone. They're so bad at this. I was like, no one. We still don't know who we're going to vote for. I'm like, it's happened. It was last night. You
either need to like own it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kirby asks if it's 3-3 Titans v Rebels style. And Caro and Mark are like, no, it's not. And she's like, well, then what is it? What are we doing here? Yeah, I think Twitter didn't love Kirby being a bit salty here. People were kind of like, tone it down. Which I was like, no. I get it. I think it's a tactic. I think she was just trying to put pressure on, get information. Because if you just let that go, they're all like, cackling away in the background.
And I think she does it in quite a good way. I mean, she's obviously annoyed, but she's like not going nuclear. No, she's really just being a bit frustrated. Yeah. It's like, what?
She didn't like hide the machete or like throw the rice in the fire.
Oh my God. Yeah, she was like nothing like that. She's obviously just, a
little bit pissed. It's day 42. Kitty's like, well, look, Kirby, I learnt from the best and you've taught me well. I finally pulled off a lie that you didn't know about in response to being busted lying.
I thought that was quite a good response from Kitty.
Yeah. Kirby's pissed though, and now she's like, wants to take out the Karens. And I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
This is good. She's really trolling Kitty now, and it did start to feel a little bit orcs. And this is when Twitter turned, and everyone was like, Kirby,
like tone it
salty.
down.
Yeah. Tone it down, girl. Kirby starts idol hunting, and it's no secret.
No.
Which we have not seen very much of this season. Do you think people have been doing it and they've cut it out, or just
I think that they've left a lot on the cutting room floor.
Of course.
Particularly where it doesn't lead to anything. I think
because no one's played idols, and no one's played them in particularly like useful ways.
Yes.
So it's kind of like, why would we see the hunt?
Yes.
Yeah. Caro is not pleased because she knows, she's like, oh, Kirby's out there idol hunting everybody. And then what the fuck? Caroline finds an idol. The one that was left out there for Kirby to find.
Yes, basically.
And I'm like,
the
no!
producer's like, damn it.
She gets that.
She's so happy. I was like, you deserve this one. Like,
Yeah.
it is nice, I think, as a super fan to find an idol.
Yeah, she's stoked.
Yeah.
Immunity challenge is more balancing things.
And I was trying to think in my mind, we start to get more like balancy ones.
Yeah.
Less of the more balance endurance, less of
less
the
endurance.
Yeah, less of the running or things that really favour the bigger players. It is more of the balancing.
Yeah, it feels kind of more even, but then also they feel just tougher. Like, I like that they save all the really hard ones for the end, because it's like, ooh, game's getting like pointy end.
And I think there's also something about the challenges where it's also like there is a strong mental aspect to it. Like, you really just have to push through.
Exactly. Do you have a favourite challenge?
Do I have a favourite
one,
challenge?
like one that we haven't seen for a while? I'm trying to think. I do like the breathing underwater one, because it's like
that
a
is
little bit fucked.
It's so torturous.
Yeah.
I like any challenge, like the ones that we see in this episode, where it's about balancing a million things together or on top of each other, because it really is, as you said before, like anyone can win them.
Totally.
I especially like this one because of that weird fork that they have to use. To grab
the little things. It was a bit tedious this time.
It was very tedious, and it felt like they just like found a bunch of those forks in like the Samoan surplus store, and they were like, let's build a challenge around it.
Kirby pulls it out again, which
Incredible.
I was like, amazing. And I love that she's just like, oh, I'm just going to win them all now.
Yeah.
And it's like, great.
I believe you.
I hope she does.
Yeah.
Back at camp, Caroline's plan is to play her idol correctly and take out Feras, and no one's going to know about it.
I screamed.
I was like, you better not. But like, love this plan. How good.
This plan. It's incredible.
Yeah. Mark is torn between sides. The Feras option is sounding promising though. Mm-hmm. Like, what's going on with Mark? I miss like early season Mark.
It's two completely different people.
Totally.
He was such a dominating force in the early game. He was leading. He was the one putting the plans on the table. I don't understand.
I think what happened is he lost the V's. Like, he was going to work with them, and that was going to be fabulous.
Yeah.
And then, because they were going to just totally kick him out at the end, and I was going to be like, yes.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that didn't happen.
Yeah, you're right. And I think he's stuck with a lot of people who he doesn't really know and hasn't really built the bonds with. Yeah.
And unfortunately, he's stuck working with bloody Karen.
Because, I mean, both Feras and Kirby are rebels, and he was a Titan, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then we had Caroline as a Titan, but she's his arch nemesis. And Kitty was a Titan as well?
Yeah, Kitty was a Titan, wasn't she?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Because she owns several 8-figure businesses.
Yes, I'm trying to like go back in my mind of things that I know, but I guess that is it. So he's stuck with people who he hasn't really known since the start of the game, or who actively hate him.
Feras and Kirby want to take each other to the end because game recognizes game.
Love it.
And we love to see it. Heading into Tribal, Caroline is all stoked to make a big move with her surprise idol, and I'm like, nervous AF.
The edit at this point really made me think it was a possibility.
Yeah. It was good. I like this week, all of the tribals actually going into all of them, I was a bit like, we knew the two outcomes and then we didn't really know where it's going to happen, that is what I want from Survivor.
Exactly.
Like, thank you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm following, but I'm also confused, if you know what I mean. I don't want to be like hand-fed like the whole story, but like you get enough. Like a murder mystery.
I'm believing, but I'm also suspicious.
Exactly. Caroline at Tribal says that overconfidence is overrated. And I'm like, that sounds like a Housewives tagline. She's like, overconfidence is overrated.
It was hilarious.
And then we see her vote for Feras. So she goes up and does a Feras one. Caroline plays the idol for Mark.
He looks confused.
He's like,
he doesn't seem as happy about it as he should be.
He goes, thanks. Then he goes, oh, that's awesome. Yeah, cool. Fell necklace and hat. And then meow, meow, meow. We say goodbye to Kitty. Were you seeing this coming?
I did.
Yeah?
As the tribal council played out, I really did. I did see it coming. That her plan was not as solid as she thought it was going to be.
Which was a bummer. It would have, like, as much as I obviously didn't want to see her plan fully, like, go down and Feras to go. But if she pulled it off in some way, but then like Feras played an idol as well or something like that.
Yeah.
That would have been fucking amazing TV.
I mean, I was into it in the way that I'm into like a really wild move, but if Feras left at that point, it would have not been good for the game.
No, he deserved to be in the final week, and
Exactly.
I'm glad that he is.
Yeah.
Oh, Ray and Kirby didn't know what was up leaving Tribal. So we get a little bit of like post-Tribal chat here. And Mark goes to Kitty, to Caroline, sorry, you should have told me.
Yeah.
So like, he's like, what the fuck? So everyone's kind of leaving this Tribal being like, huh? Because obviously Caroline thought she was going to pull off this huge move and it was going to be on her resume, but wasn't to be.
And we also got two beautiful looks during this. We got the look on Caroline's face as her plan failed, and then a cutaway shot to the jury where we see the look on Jaden's face as he's trying to piece together everything that just went on. And both of them, I was like, excellent, thank you.
The jury have been turning the looks as well. Like, obviously,
God.
Valeria, we expected. Eileen continues to just stun and impress.
My comment in all of these was Valeria really knows how to do makeup. And can she teach me how to do makeup? She is so like.
Well, she is a supermodel.
She is a supermodel. that did convince me. And yeah, they're all beautiful.
Do you think there's glam at Jury Villa?
Absolutely not.
No, you think she's doing that?
She's doing it because the way that my true crime story to this is that I looked at all of their faces and they all kind of have such a different level of makeup that
True.
I think that they're doing it themselves. Also love Jaden's traditional Samoan.
Yeah, they're really nice shirts.
These nice shirts.
Yeah.
He looks great.
He does look good. He's happy because he's, got his Coke, no sugar.
Exactly, and back to a
he's
proper
chilling out.
gym.
There is a funny bit this week from Jury Villa as well with Alex and Jaden doing like a little workout and then they do some yoga in matching Speedos.
Oh my God.
And it's actually a bit cute.
Okay, I'm going to watch it.
Yeah. And it's not behind a paywall.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Thank you, Channel 10.
Rula, thank you so much for joining me this week. We did it. We got through the eps. Before we go though, what's your hopes and predictions for the rest of the season? Which is, there's only 1 week left.
There is only 1 week left. So I just really, Channel 10 have pilled me with all of these Feras Kirby promos. I'm really thinking we're going to see Feras Kirby like that. It's final 3 though, right? That's what it was. Or was it final 4?
I have no idea. I mean, they switch it up all the time anyway.
Because last year it was
Yeah.
Liz, George, Jerry and Matt, right? Or was it only for the 3 of them at the end? I'll have to go back.
Remember.
But I'm thinking we'll get some kind of combo of Feras, Ray and Kirby.
At the end?
At the end.
Yeah, true. I would actually really like to see Feras, Kirby and Caroline at the end.
Yeah.
Only because I truly believe they have played, those three have played the best.
Yeah.
And if you want to beat the best, you got to beat the best. So I think that would be good. Yeah, it would. I think I also don't want to see Raymond get like slaughtered by the jury. I think that'd be like kind of cruel.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think it would be really good to see Caroline at the end as well, because I think she genuinely has played a part.
Oh, totally.
In some
She's
big
been
moves.
great. I hang a lot of shit over on this pod, but I actually think she's incredible game player.
And the way she's been able to position herself as a decider, that people really go to her and they want to bring her on side rather than kind of like vote her out. I think it's quite, whereas like someone like Alex got like the floater label, but she's like voted across all alliances.
Oh, totally.
And people see her as a power player.
I know. And I love they've all lost their like right-handers now. So it's like Ree's gone, Kitty's gone. We've got like, everyone's just exposed. They haven't got their shields around them. So next week is going to be awesome.
It's going to be great. And can't wait for families. I love it when the families
Oh my
come.
God, of course.
Yeah.
Do we? Yeah, we'll get that, right? We always get that.
Families in the final challenge.
Families is good.
Where they can just see their
Get
loved
the tissues ready.
Yeah. See their loved one stand on a cliff for 16 hours.
We're also finally getting MasterChef promos as well, which I'm very excited about, because the Robert Irwin ones are just like wanting me to shoot myself in the face. So yeah, M-Chef, it's like what usually starts in like June or something, doesn't it? It's like a winter show.
It's April 22nd.
What?
We're getting it early.
Early?
They put the date up last night. Me and Max screamed.
Oh my God, that's so soon.
Especially because you know what it means.
Our episode.
Our television debut.
We may or may not have attended a MasterChef event to sample the food. And if we don't get edited in with our critiques, I'm going to fucking riot. I'm outside the Channel 10 offices. If our
incredibly confusing takes on the different eggplant dishes.
That's right. There was eggplant. What else was there? They were kind of vaguely North African.
There was the satay skewers that took too long to cook, and we felt like that was going to be a plot point.
What do you think of the promo? It's kind of got like a little Frenchy theme.
It's very chic.
It is très chic.
For me, MasterChef cannot step a foot wrong.
No.
I'm into
perfect.
everything that they do. So, yeah, down for
Poe,
it.
I'm so ready for Poe.
Yes.
Give me more Poe. I had some delicious Red Rock deli chips on the weekend that were a Poe flavour. They were beef rendang.
Amazing.
They were delicious.
Did it actually really taste like?
It did.
Okay, I'm hunting these down.
Yeah, I don't know. You've got to go to the Wagga Wagga Coles or wherever we found
Worth
them.
it.
I'm sure they're national. But yeah, maybe I'll get some for next week for the big finale.
That's the perfect treat.
All right, doll. I'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye. That's it. Next week is the final week of Australian Survivor Titans vs Rebels. Who will my guest be? Who will win the $500,000 prize? You'll have to join me to find out. Until then, bye-bye.